Hello, I'm Scott. I'm the breathing guy. I developed core energy, how to use your core in physical activities. This video is baseball swing mechanics, upper body mechanics, basically a section. I have a video before this dealing with the lower body. The function of the lower body is turning the hips. How do you turn the hips in the most efficient, effective way? And that promotes the rotation of the shoulders. Hips turn, shoulders rotate. That's the rule on that. Other part of the upper body mechanics is linking the left arm to the pec here and having the right elbow bent at when you strike the ball. Those are your major critical points in upper body swing to transfer the most force to the hands. There's 3 points to the ball swing: lower body, hips turning; upper body, shoulders rotating, arm, and hands. The grip, releasing the force of the bat. What's the most effective way? This is baseball swing mechanics theory, upper body, and let's begin. Okay, remember, lower body, refresh for anyone that don't. First off, you turn the right foot 17 degrees in. Why? You want that knee, you want to rotate the heel to have that knee pointed directly at the pitcher. In doing so, my hip turns right to the pitcher. 2, you want your feet not too far apart so you can do this. The farther apart your feet is, the harder you can't turn the hips. The hips are at an angle, so then it separates the shoulder from the hips. The shoulders get in front of the hips. What gives you the most force with the upper body is when the hips and shoulders are in line hitting the ball. If you get that, that will produce the most, if you want to say strength, force, or rigidity to hit the ball during the rotation, turning the shoulders, turning the hips, rotating the shoulders. It's that 1 point. If the shoulders getting past the hips and you hit a ball, you're not near as forceful, strong, because of the impact of the ball. Your body is more wobbly. You do this here. The other part, so understanding the idea of the open stance, having the open stance. So, a couple degrees, even having the left foot, even with the arch. You have to find your own. Every person's different, but the goal of an open stance is when you hit the ball, your elbow is bent. Left arm is straight. Those are your points for turning to maximize the force of turning the hips. Now, understand that when you do that. Why? If your feet are straight, you'll see a lot of famous batters. Right before they hit, they actually come up, ready to fit, and they step out. They make the open stance. I'm trying to create the least amount of movement and the most direct amount of force. There's no reason not to. And that will give you more accuracy hitting the ball. The more you move or jittering around, you're wasting energy, and your chances of not hitting the ball increases. I want a 50% or better of hitting the ball. Depends on what the situation is. Normal. This is if you're young, you're starting out and you want to learn and test. This is why you have this piece of equipment, so you can practice. I don't want you on the baseball field. You don't have the swing mechanics. The baseball swing mechanics, then you have to have the muscle tension, then you have to have the internal energy and strength factor involved. That's with breathing, and then the third is attitude generator. All have to come together to make a great baseball swing ability repeatedly. So the whole idea here, turn here. Like I said, when you hit the ball, you want that elbow bent, and that gives you more bat leg time. So you can whip the bat into the ball. If your elbow goes out, your snap is already dead and you're hitting the ball with almost virtually no, your bat lag time is already gone. Think of that, bat lag time. So in other words, when you hit the ball, you're hitting it straight instead of having your hand going into the ball at the same time. 2, so how do you do this? So when you do this, first thing I want you to do, always remember, never have your shoulders forward like this. Never. Square them off. Head back, straight, spine relatively straight. Tip your hips slightly forward. When you bend forward, you bend at the hip flexors, turn your right foot in, and that way you feel strong, you're stable. You have to use your core muscles to be that way too, but that's internal force. That's another. I'm just going basic swing mechanics. So that way, when you do that, see how my hand, like this. If I'm like this, I can't. So understanding that having the open stance permits the right elbow to be bent hitting the ball. 2, what do you do with the left shoulder? You actually, when you square your shoulders off, you're standing there, and then you let it come down. Rotate the shoulder in, down, so it locks the left arm to this point, to the pec. That way, when you're turning through, it's all solid, all the way down to the ground. You can make it solid. You can feel the connection with practice of actually the foot, this foot, as it's turning, pushing at that bat at that last second, like a bullwhip, going into the bat as it hits the ball. It makes you solid. The more solid you make the body, the impact of the ball on the bat is a recoil action. You can transmit more force, so you get a better, higher reaction time involved. 2, with the elbow bent like this, you can hit it for home runs. If the arm is out, you're going to hit a flat ball, because why? The left shoulder is not up. In other words, the shoulders come flatter. As the right elbow goes out, my left shoulder comes down. If it comes down, I always say flat shoulders, flat ball. That's it. With an open stance, basically, 2, you can have your elbow bent and you can hit it right where the center field is. There's so much advantage to this. And always remember, don't put your feet so far apart. Look at, I like Babe Ruth style of anything. That comes later. This is just basic foundation to get you the sense of how. Babe Ruth started with his feet together, a lot of other, and then he stepped into it. Not far. And sometimes he stepped out and into it. But a lot of famous hitters, you watch their left foot, the front foot. How does it work? Are they contorting? Do they have to do it with balance? But a lot of them put their foot out when they're like this, and then they step out and then hit. Why? It permits the right elbow to be bent to hit. 2, it permits you to hit it to center field. Or over to the right field, left field. You can hit to the left field. You're like this, you can hit it where you want. There's ways of moving based on your footwork. Decide if you want to go to right, left, whatever field you want, center. But it gives you have to hit it from maximum force where your arm is straight and you're doing this. You're hitting the ball when you're doing this. Instead of like this, you're hitting like that. That's pure momentum. Chances of controlling it, it's so low, it's pathetic. So understanding the upper body swing mechanics linked to the lower body swing mechanics. The hips turn, shoulders rotate, you lock up the arm, and with the open stance, you permit the right elbow to be bent 90 degrees. So that gives you leg time, so when you do hit the ball, you're actually bringing the hand into it. It's not all released yet involved. It's very, finding you have to practice, use this type of equipment to practice, and you go slow. I want you to go back slow. You start up here slow, you start and you actually slowly with that foot turn out 70 degrees, and then it's actually 78 degrees out. And then you can just bring that knee straight out. That's why you're just pushing through and see how it works. You have to feel it to condition yourself so you know how to be accurate. The next video I'll go into the hands and how to use the butt of the ball here to aim the bat at the ball. That's how anyone says, okay, how do you hit the ball? And be sure you can, your chances increase. If the bat is aimed at the ball right, you'll always hit the ball. The butt has to be aimed at the ball, and then you can come around and hit the ball. That's the key element for the hands. There's more, but on the grip, that's your goal. 2, with the stance, make sure your hands are like this, not like this, like this. So when you're back up here, it's already cocked and locked in position. There's little subtleties with the hands. The hands have to move the bat, not your arms. Think of it that way involved. But this is baseball swing mechanics, upper body, rotating of the shoulders, locking of the left shoulder, or of the left pec to the left arm to be straight, the right arm elbow being bent to can come through for lag time, bat lag time is the key element here to maximize the effort you're putting in based on your talents. But getting the structure, the basic swing structure, that's how you shape your body and you move your body. That's it. The force that you need within the movement, those are other areas of development. That's internal forces, muscles control, and then the head attitude. Your attitude comes into play there. But those are other skills. But this is pure swing mechanics. What is the best footwork, hip turning ability, rotation, and bringing the hands. Next video I'll do is on the grip. What is the most effective grip to transfer the rotational force into the hands, and then from the hands to amplify it by swinging the bat to hit the ball. This is Scott. This is baseball swing mechanics, upper body, the rotation of the shoulders linked to the lower body, turning the hips.